your path demands you to walk through hell,
And I'm feeling
walk in as if you own the place.
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
Save your breath for screaming.
Who are you?
Demon to some, angel to others.
I see you.
And a happy Halloween to you too, Ed. Good evening, my sweet tortured souls, and welcome back to Miss Violet's Underworld. It has been quite a while since I've done one of these videos, but I am glad to be back. So, seeing it is, as it is now, the season of all things spooky, gory, horror, and I thought I'd do my little rundown of alternative horror films to watch this Halloween, because we've all watched the big names out there, the Freddys, the Jasons, the Michaels. We've watched them all, haven't we now? So, here is my little list of alternative picks, starting with an absolute classic double bill for me, and that would be Night of the Demons 1 and 2. If you don't know the story of Night of the Demons, it is the story of Angela, who holds a party at a house, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's called Hull House. They nickname it Hell House. It's a Halloween party. Wackiness ensues. Everyone gets possessed by demons, and lots of people die. It is seminal 80s horror classics starring such greats as Amelia Kincaid and Linnea Quigley. Both films are absolutely amazing. The second film is not as good as the first film, but of course sequels don't tend to be, unless of course you're talking about Terminator, Aliens, some of the later films like that. But I highly recommend these films as a double bill this Halloween season. Moving swiftly on, my next pick is a film that is near and dear to my heart, especially since I discovered the director's cut from 2019 very recently. I bought it on Blu-ray. I absolutely fell in love with it, and that is Clive Barker's Nightbreed. Now, I have already done a video on Nightbreed. I will link it into the description. I'll put it at the end of the video somewhere, one in the bottom corners somewhere. But I will link that one there, and I gushed about that film there, so go and watch that episode over there. Next, now this one's a little bit left field for me, and I'm going to pick The Relic. It's a creature feature kind of film set in a museum. You don't really get a good look of the monster until the end. There is some iffy 90s CGI in the film, but everything else is done practical effects. Good for a good creature feature if you love those kind of films. Definitely go and check it out on Halloween. Moving very, very quickly on, it's going to be my final pick for alternative horror films this horror season, but I'm going to go with Mimic. Now, if you have never seen Mimic, and if you are afraid of bugs, this could be your new favourite Halloween film. It is about a breed of cockroach that can mimic, hence the name, human form, and it's a pretty gory film in places. Lots of good practical effects, lots of special effects. There is some CGI. It's not as bad as some CGI from its time period, but just amazing film. Cannot recommend it more. Stars Mina Savaria, Charles S. Dutton pops up in it very, very briefly as a policeman or a subway officer. I think he's a subway transit authority person. But very, very good film. If you've not seen it, I can definitely highly recommend giving that a view this wonderful Halloween season. And I suppose that brings me up to honourable mentions. Now, I always go on about this, and I am going to do its own little episode. In fact, I think it may be the next episode of... Is this season 2? Should I consider this season 2 of Violet's Underworld? I don't know. Answers in the comments, people. If you think this should be the episode 1 of the second season, I will gladly do that. But me personally, I think this is just a little Halloween episode. But in the next episode, I'm going to talk about this honourable mention in more detail. I'm going to go and have a bit of a look, bit of a deep dive, bit of a trudge through the old internet to see what information I can find. But I'm going to talk about an absolute cult classic for me, and that is going to be the Night of the Living Dead remake, written by George A. Romero and directed by special effects master himself, Tom Savini. That will be coming up next time on Miss Violet's Underworld. So, for this Halloween night, it's good night from me, it's good night from Ed, and remember, my sweet tortured souls, if you can't be good, be twisted. Don't get mad, baby. Get sadistic. Mwah. Bye.
If your path demands you to walk through hell,
and I'm feeling
walk in as if you own the place.